Ever look at a modern car and feel like something's missing? All screens, all beeps, no soul. Once, cars had quirks and features. You could touch crank or pull things that made a car, a car. Tonight on Autoverse, we're peeling back the layers to rediscover the ghosts of motoring past. These aren't just obsolete bits, they're relics of a different era showing what we valued in our machines. Some vanished for safety, others for convenience, and a few just fell out of fashion. So buckle up, let's take a nostalgic tour of 7 car features now consigned to the great scrapyard in the sky. Each one tells a story about how cars and drivers have changed. Let's start with the coolest car feature ever, pop-up headlights. Nothing matched the drama of flicking a switch and watching those eyelids rise from the bonnet. It was pure automotive theater. Your car transformed from sleek wedge to night creature, ready for action. The Lamborghini Countach, Ferrari Testarossa, Mazda Miata poster heroes, thanks in part to those hidden lamps. By day you got a sharp, clean nose. By night, a secret agent's gadget revealed. But then came the safety brigade, worried about sharp metal rectangles greeting pedestrians. Aerodynamics also played a part. Raised lights ruined drag coefficients, a sin in the age of fuel economy. And let's be honest, they weren't always reliable. One headlight up, one down your sports car, winking like a pub drunk. Between safety, efficiency, and fragility, the pop-up's fate was sealed. The Lotus Esprit blinked its last in 2004. LEDs now give us sleek fronts without the mechanical ballet. Is it better? Maybe. Is it more fun? Absolutely not. I miss the drama, the transformation, the sense of occasion. Now you just press a button and a light comes on. Where's the romance in that? Pop-ups were a little bit of magic gone, and the soul went with them. They made you feel like you were part of something special. Today's lights are efficient, but utterly forgettable. The pop-up headlight, a lost moment of theater. It's like swapping a handwritten love letter for a text. Efficient, yes, but the magic is gone, and I miss it. Let's talk about the manual window crank, a relic for anyone under 25, but once the only way to let the outside in. No button, no motor, just a handle and your own effort. There was a rhythm to it, a satisfying click as you spun it for a blast of air or fine-tuned the opening. You felt the resistance, knew when it hit the top or bottom. Honest, tactile, and utterly reliable. Why? Because it was just a handle, spindle, and gear. No battery, no fuse, no switch to fail. As long as you had an arm, you had a window. But then came electric windows, first in luxury cars, then everywhere. Suddenly cranking a handle was beneath us. Press a button, all 4 windows drop, effortless. Manual cranks became a sign of poverty spec, the peasant option. But with convenience came fragility. Motors burn out, switches fail, plastic gears strip. And when your window's stuck, usually down, usually raining, you remember the genius of the crank. Today, manual windows are unicorns, found only in the most basic vans or emerging market hatchbacks. We traded foolproof simplicity for temperamental ease, and a new set of repair bills. Was it progress? Maybe. But we lost a bit of connection with our cars. The crank was a handshake with your machine, now it's just another button. And when it fails, you're left wishing for the old ways. Manual cranks, simple, honest, and nearly extinct. We saved ourselves a chore but lost a little soul. Sometimes the old ways really were better. The window crank, gone but not forgotten. It was the AK-47 of car features, simple, robust, and always worked. Now we're left with fragile convenience, and a little less connection. That's the price of progress. The bench seat, less a seat, more a sofa. In the golden age of American land yachts, it was the throne for the whole family. Dad driving, mom in the middle, kids crammed in. No center console, no gear lever in the way. It was intimate, friendly, and made the car feel open and social. You could slide across if someone parked too close, practical in a lazy way. But safety? Not so much. No bolstering, often just a lap belt, nothing to hold you in place. Take a corner and you'd slide into the driver or the door, like driving on a tea tray. Enter the bucket seat, inspired by racing, designed to hold you, support you, and keep you safe. The center console arrived, dividing the front into 2 pods. Driver's cockpit and passenger seat. Safety and support improved, but the sense of togetherness faded. The last true front bench seat. Chevy Impala, 2013. We gained safety, support, and cup holders. But we lost the automotive cuddle. The bench seat turned the car into a living room. Now it's just 2 chairs and a console. The world of motoring is a little lonelier. The bench seat, gone, but remembered by anyone who ever slid across vinyl. We traded closeness for safety, and lost a bit of warmth along the way. Once every car had a cigarette lighter and at least 1 ashtray, sometimes more. Smoking was normal, even glamorous, and the lighter was a tiny, glowing volcano on your dash. The ashtray? Always too small, always a mess, but always there. As health awareness grew, the glamour faded. Smoking became an antisocial habit. Ashtrays disappeared, first in the back, then up front, eventually only as an optional smoker's pack. The lighter socket survived, reborn as the 12-volt power outlet. No longer for lighting cigarettes, but for powering phones, GPS, and gadgets. Today, USB ports have taken over, and the original purpose is forgotten. Most new cars don't even offer a smoker's pack. The ashtray is gone, the lighter is gone, and the smell of stale smoke is, thankfully, history. Of all the lost features, this is one nobody should mourn. The cigarette lighter's legacy lives on as a power source. But the days of hotboxing your kids on a road trip? Good riddance, the smoky ghost has vanished. And that's progress we can all breathe easier about. Picture this, you're stranded with a blown tire, but in the boot, a full-size spare. Not a temporary fix, but a real wheel. Swap it, and you're back on the road. No speed limits, no worries. It was self-sufficiency, a badge of preparedness. But weight and space were its enemies. A full-size spare is heavy and takes up precious boot space. Bad news for fuel economy and emissions. Designers saw wasted potential and axed it. Enter the space-saver donut. Skinny, ugly, and strictly temporary. It screamed, "Fix your tire now!" and made your car look injured. Now even donuts are vanishing, replaced by a can of sealant and a tiny compressor. The tire mobility kit only works for small punctures. Blowouts? You're calling a tow truck. We traded self-reliance for a can of goo and a prayer. The full-size spare gone in the name of efficiency. But when you're stranded, you'll wish it was still there. We gained space and saved weight. But lost the peace of mind that came with a real spare. The get-out-of-jail-free card is gone. Now, it's just hope and a hotline. The full-size spare, a casualty of progress, and a real loss for drivers who like to be prepared. Sometimes the old ways really were better. Now we're just hoping for the best. And that's not quite the same. If you learned to drive before 1990, you remember the choke, a little knob for cold starts. On chilly mornings, you'd pull it out, coaxing the engine to life with a richer fuel mix. Too much, you'd flood it. Too little, it wouldn't start. It was a conversation with your car, a ritual that separated drivers from appliance operators. The choke was a manual override for the carburetor's limitations. But then came electronic fuel injection. Sensors, ECUs, and perfect cold starts every time. The manual choke became obsolete overnight. Now you just turn the key and go. No ritual, no fuss. We lost that mechanical sympathy but gained reliability, efficiency, and cleaner air. The choke and carburetor live on only in classics and lawnmowers. Of all the lost features, the choke best represents the triumph of clever electronics over charming but flawed mechanics. The morning ritual is gone, but so are the headaches. Progress, in this case, is hard to argue with. Still, there's a certain nostalgia for that old dance. The choke, a symbol of a more hands-on era. Before air conditioning, keeping cool meant opening windows, often a gale, never subtle. Enter the quarter light or vent window, a small pane you could pivot for a gentle, targeted breeze. It was genius fresh air without chaos, perfect for smokers, and a handy exit for smoke. But as aerodynamics and air conditioning took over, vent windows became a problem, turbulence, wind noise, and no place in modern door designs. The A-pillar grew, doors became single pressings, and the vent window faded away. The last mainstream car with them? Probably a 90s Ford F-150. We gained quieter cabins, better aerodynamics, and effortless climate control, but lost the ability to aim a perfect breeze on a summer evening. The vent window, a small, elegant solution, now extinct. Sometimes, the simplest features are the ones you miss most. Now, it's all or nothing, aircon or hurricane. The precision breeze is gone, and that's a small, genuine shame. So there you have it, 7 ghosts of motoring past. From pop-up headlights to window cranks, bench seats to vent windows, each tells a story of a more mechanical, tactile era. Most are gone for good, replaced by safer, more efficient, but less soulful features. As we speed toward a future of self-driving pods, let's remember these quirks. They're the character lines of automotive history. What did we miss? Which lost feature do you want back? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, hit subscribe for more from Autoverse. Thanks for watching, no cranking required.